Well, in typical WWE fashion, we had a plan for tonight, and they decided to ruin it. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody. It's In This Very Ring. My name is Ritz. I am the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be. This is the mayor of Toasty Town. This is Butters. Why are you not getting an extravagant and an elaborate, a crazy kind of intro?
Woo.
Well, because half an hour ago, Dwayne decided that he was going to show up on Smackdown
and ruin all our plans.
Ruin this entire show.
Yay for Dwayne!
Oh, man. Okay, so this episode of In This Very Ring is brought to you by our friends at Outlasted Travel. Outlasted Travel specializes in creating the vacation of your dreams at Disney, Universal, or wherever your heart calls you. Let their talented team of travel experts, including yours truly, create a custom vacation for you without any of the stress. Outlasted on over to outlasted-travel.com/take the trip to get in touch with myself, Birds of a Feather, Chuck Brandon, or any of the other talented travel agents that we have at Outlasted Travel. Okay, so we have a poll question for tonight. I still think it's kind of relevant. There are some people in the chat already, Jeff, that say the question aged. I disagree because nothing got officially answered. And I'm going to die on this hill a little bit tonight solely on the fact that I couldn't come up with anything better in half an hour. Okay. Cody Rhodes will pick Seth Rollins as his WrestleMania opponent. Agree, disagree. Butters, we're going to start with myself this week because I've got a lot to say.
Go for it, because I'm still.
All right, so let's set the stage like we do.
The pebble needs to go back to the pond.
Like we do every single week. We set the stage. We let you guys know what's going on. At the end of SmackDown, Roman Reigns came out and he was talking about Monday night, the promo between Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes, where everybody thought Cody was going to pick Seth, right? Even though Cody called out Roman at the end of the Royal Rumble, the Punk injury obviously caused things to change. And what's an easy way to just drag and drop Cody into the Seth Rollins story than doing that promo, basing it off their history, having the conversation that they had, everything like that. And then you get to Friday night. And it's announced Friday night. It's announced earlier in the week that Cody is going to be on SmackDown. He's going to confront Roman Reigns, the tribal chief. And that becomes the final segment, the main event of the show. So Roman comes down and he starts talking, and Roman cuts a great promo. It's an absolutely fantastic promo. We've got some highlights over here. Let me get to them here. We were talking about it in one of my other chats here. So let's see. Be the best number 2 in this company or take another crack at number 1. You can't wear your wife's clothes and say you're the guy. You want Seth Rollins money or do you want Tribal Chief money? That was fantastic. Those are just some of the highlights from that promo, which again, great promo. Roman as this Tribal Chief, we've talked about it for the last 3 years. His mic skills have tremendously improved and increased and done so much better week in and week out. And then Cody comes down and Cody starts talking about how that, you call that the Hollywood title, but that's still the title that Ric Flair held, Bruno Sammartino. Starts listing all these names. Daniel, another one. Yes, I work 10 times less as Seth, but I make 10 times more as him as well. Another great line from that. And then Cody goes, I don't want to just take your title from you. I want to take everything from you. But I'm not going to do it at WrestleMania. I'm going to move the goalpost. And I had counsel. And then as soon as he says that, out comes The Rock. And it's one of those moments where commentary doesn't say anything other than, oh, it's The Rock, whatever. And then from the minute The Rock hits the stage, silence. Cody walks out. Not another word is said for the rest of the show. And The Rock and The Rock and Roman just stare each other down center of the ring. This is the first time that those two men have been in the ring since the year he won the Rumble, maybe? Right, 2017, somewhere around there, when it was in Philly, and The Rock helped them win, or whatever. I think it was in Philly. No, our chat is just flying off. So I think I agree with the poll, but there is a small part of me, and you brought this up before we came on the air. Are you alive? Where were you? Did you hear anything I just said?
I've been listening. I'm back in mania mode.
Okay. Oh yeah, that was a fun day.
Yeah.
Something you brought up before we came on the air, and a lot of people have talked about. They really haven't answered anything. Now, obviously, we could call back to 2000. I think it was 2012, 2011, when Triple H and Undertaker had that infamous stare down. Right, Undertaker returns. Triple H's music hits. They stare down. They look at the WrestleMania sign. Yada yada yada. So people could say, based on Cody's promo, based on The Rock, based on all of this, right? We know it's going to be Rock Roman at WrestleMania. But we still have Elimination Chamber in a few weeks. With Seth out, with Punk out, we knew Roman wasn't originally working it. Does that change plans? Does Roman now work Australia?
I think he does, because I think Seth was destined to work Australia until the injury. Now somebody's got to work Australia. You can't just have both your champions off of the pay-per-view. I'm sorry, you were originally going to have Seth. Gary almost guaranteed. You knew. Then he gets injured. Change of plans. Okay. Maybe Roman can do it. Now Punk's out. Change of plans.
Well, and let's go one step further, right? Seth wasn't going to miss WrestleMania. We knew that.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So the plans don't change with Seth getting hurt. I think the plans change with his involvement in things. I think the plan always was we're going to do an Elimination Chamber match for the number one contendership for Seth's title. I think that was always the overarching plan.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Now I don't think we see that. Now I don't know what Elimination Chamber looks like now. I think we go back to last year where it was you have a match for the United States title, and now you have a match for the tag titles.
Because I feel like Seth was set to defend at Chamber while a number one contenders, match was going on. And now that Seth's injured, it's like, ooh, what do we do now?
Yeah, well, it's not even with Seth. It's with Punk being injured. Punk being injured because we all.
That's what I meant.
Yeah, we all.
My head's not in the right space right now.
No, I know. We ultimately knew, no matter who was in that chamber match, Punk was going to win, face Seth at WrestleMania, and the card was going to go Punk, Seth, Rhodes, Roman, Bayley, Io, which we'll get to that part later in the night. Because that was another fantastic segment as well.
The thought that crossed my head.
But I think we go back to the year, and I see the comment over there. We go back to there's an Elimination Chamber match for the U.S. title, the tag titles, but there's definitely going to be an Elimination Chamber match for Rhea's title with Bayley picking.
At this point, they might as well have a chamber match for all the championships.
No, because I don't
for number one contenders matches, because dear Lord,
if anything, maybe they don't do the U.S. title.
No, I think tonight they said something about they're having a different type of tournament for the U.S. title. number one contendership or something.
Yeah.
I do see the tag titles coming because you got the Raw team, the SmackDown team, and Judgment Day, so that makes the 6. That makes your tag team title Elimination Chamber.
Yes.
So we can get that. We ain't seen that one in a few years for the tag team titles.
I thought we saw it last year or the year before.
No, last year was U.S. title, I do believe.
Keep talking.
So we see that. I guarantee we see a number one contenders match. Well, if Cody doesn't choose Seth, we see a number one contenders match. If Cody chooses Seth, there's no need for it because then we have Rock Roman on. Then we have.
Well, we're gonna have Rock Roman regardless, though.
But it doesn't need to be for the title, and we've said this before a million times. Roman just needs to defend a chamber against Cody, against somebody, or Damian needs to cash in. Something needs to happen. This way we can just get Rock Roman, no title needed.
I still think
Let Cody finish the story
it
at
was
Chamber.
2020 when we had the tag title.
Was it?
Yeah, because it was the Miz and Morrison versus the New Day versus the Usos versus Heavy Machinery
Okay, so
versus
4 years
Lucha
ago.
House Party versus the Dirty Dogs.
Still a long time, and I've slept a lot since.
No,
then.
agreed.
I've ate a lot too, but hide nor hair.
But so all right, let's go to some of these comments because we got a lot flying in. I don't want to miss anything. All right, we're gonna go all the way back up to the top here. Warner says this question aged quickly. Shut up, Warner. Robert says I wanted to see Cody finish the story. And again, though,
He can finish it at Chamber.
but he said he's moving the goalpost. So does that mean he's going to challenge, like you said, Roman at Chamber? Does that mean he's going to challenge Roman after Roman faces The Rock? Is finishing the story when he wins the title off of Seth?
Finishing the story is winning the WWE Championship off of Roman.
Finishing the story is
Winning the title as Daddy Never Won. The title that he literally
And I think
the title that he stated in his promo tonight that his daddy had in his hands and was taken away from him seconds later in Madison Square Garden. Because never mind, you didn't actually win that one. Sorry, Charlie.
and again, right? Like I get it all.
The story is the WWE Championship. The one.
So all right, move the goalpost. All right, you move it,
You can move it forward, backward.
and he didn't say in what direction.
Exactly.
Right, so he could move it forward, challenge Roman at Chamber,
Mm-hmm.
win it, right, and now you've totally fucked everything. Because now your Royal Rumble winner, who's supposed to have a main event match at WrestleMania, is the main event at WrestleMania.
You can set up a match between them.
You could, absolutely. But it's going to be crazy. Brian Daly, holy crap, what an episode of SmackDown. Pove, hey fam, really enjoying the Cody Punk program.
I mean, in this episode of SmackDown, and this is why I hate WWE sometimes, and the way we go on Friday nights. Don't get me wrong, I love my Friday nights.
but at the same time, you're killing me. You're killing me.
It makes it so tough to write.
You had it was a huge SmackDown night with debuts, with choices being made.
It was a fantastic episode of SmackDown.
Exactly.
All right, so John says it's going to be Cody versus Roman at Elimination Chamber. Priest is going to cash in, join the match, pins Cody. Roman drops the title without being pinned. Sets up Rock Roman at Mania with no title involved. Sets up Cody Priest for WWE Universal Undisputed title at Mania. Cody wins. Sets up Cody defending the title against Roman at some point to finish the story. So hold on. The story, like to Butter's point, Cody wins the title. Doesn't matter who he wins it from. Story's over.
It's just got to be the WWE title, not the World Heavyweight.
Right. Story's over. I don't necessarily know if I like that scenario, John, only because you could have done the same exact thing and had Randy pin Roman and not do this schmaz stuff on Saturday. You could have had Randy pin Roman on Saturday.
In my opinion,
This is just me though. If they'd have had the WWE title match after the Rumble,
they might have could have done it. They could have called it on the fly,
Yeah.
knowing knowing that Punk was injured.
Right.
But again, they don't
when
know
The Rock
the.
came out. I like how Roman took the belt, placed it over his shoulder like he was concerned. Daly says, I hated they cut the show before anything happened. Well, no. Nothing was going to happen, right? Realistically, nothing was going to happen. Um, the man says, the ending of SmackDown was a cliffhanger. Daniel says, Seth came out Monday with no brace, by the way. Two was walking fine, it seemed. Greg says, what's up, fellas? Business is picking up. Absolutely. There's one comment, though. I'm trying to find it here. There it is. It's David. David says, does it really matter if Roman or Seth don't show up at Chambers? I mean, yeah, it's Road to Mania, but Elimination Chamber pay-per-view is not a big pay-per-view. I would prefer having tag team and mid-card Elimination Chamber. So, I think here's why. Normally, if this show was stateside, I would absolutely be okay with neither one being on the card, right? Maybe make an appearance, whatever, right? Make your presence still known, whatever have you, blah, blah, blah. But I'm torn because this is the first one in
I was
Australia.
about to say the first pay-per-view premium live event, whatever you want to call it,
Right.
Australia.
You want to have your
Somebody
top
there.
tier show and you want your titles on display, right? The only saving grace to this is you still have Rhea, right? So realistically, you can put Rhea closing out that show if it is Rhea Nia, right? After we saw the Rhea Nia attack Rhea Monday Night on Raw, which kind of gave away Bayley picking EO, in my opinion. But
I mean, who didn't see Bayley picking EO from the weeks leading up to the Rumble?
no, agreed. But like, it kind of killed that moment. We'll get to it when we talk about it later. But so your saving grace is that you do have Rhea to close out the show in Australia, in her home country, everything like that. Maybe you don't need a Seth Rollins or a Roman Reigns on that show. It's damned if you do, damned if you don't kind of scenario. The Godfather chiming in. What's up, Tom? What's going on?
What's up, Tom?
Robert, if they do Seth and Cody, I see Drew making it a triple threat. Am I nuts? I love what Drew's doing. I love Drew. That's what kills me so much. I think Drew gets shafted.
Because you can do Seth Drew at Mania.
Good. I think Drew gets shafted here. And again,
well,
I
think
don't think the plan was for him to get shafted per se. Obviously, Punk's injury does affect a lot of creative moving forward. So maybe they do make it a triple threat. I don't know how much of a fan I am of main title triple threat matches at Mania.
I'm honestly just tired of seeing them at the moment.
We've had quite a bit. I get it. You want to, have as many superstars in the card, and as many matches as possible. But at the same time, how many triple threats and quadruple matches and whatever can you really possibly,
make before people go? Can we get a singles match or 10? Can we, get another singles match first before we,
Well, but I again, that's another catch-22. Because if you do multi-man matches, everybody gets a showcase at WrestleMania. That's ultimately the goal, is how many people can you showcase. That's why there's a benefit to 2 nights.
Yep.
Right? You can do the same amount of matches you would probably have done on 1 night, split against 2 nights. You're starting at normal time, but you're getting to showcase more superstars in a better way. Not, all right, you two only have 5 minutes. Good luck. Right? Whereas, now, all right, you guys have 20 minutes. Have fun.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm okay with some of the multi-man matches. If it's done right, if it makes sense, if it's presented it in a way that works. My fear is that this won't work. The Drew Cody Seth thing, Drew's gonna feel out of place because he really has nothing with Cody. In the grand scheme of things and what his character is focusing on, he's got no beef with Rhodes. He has beef with Punk and he has beef with Seth. So, all right. Damien says, I don't see Roman versus Cody Elimination Chamber. By the way, it's Chamber. I don't know if it Chamber or Chambers because he keeps writing Chambers and it's
Chamber.
Hold on, I'm looking this up.
No,
it is Chamber. Yes, there's no S. That's it. Yeah, that keeps screwing me up. I can see it happening at Backlash or Saudi since Saudi is a big show behind Rumble and Mania.
I thought Saudi this year was before Mania.
No, it's Chamber and then we go straight to Mania. No, the Saudi thing I think is opening, like that little experience that they have.
Mm-hmm.
That's opening. I'm going to it right now.
Oh, you're good. I'm looking at
NXT Stand and Deliver is after Mania. I mean, is before Mania. It's the next thing after.
Okay.
Backlash France happens after. That's a place they could do it. Is Backlash in France.
So you don't have anything for the month of March, basically?
No, nothing.
Okay.
I mean, I could see that. I just don't think Saudi is happening soon enough.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, because you got Backlash in France, you got Money in the Bank, like the man saying down here at the bottom. Backlash in France. Money in the Bank is in Toronto. You've got a lot of international events coming up. So, I don't know. The man says, I got a feeling that Punk's injury is a work because we remember when Seth Rollins challenged Triple H. I think Punk is pulling the same move. No, unfortunately, it's not a work. Normally I'd probably agree with you. But there's been too many reports and everything like that, and the different things that we've seen on social media, the different things that WWE has put out, the different things that have come out over the last couple of days. I don't see this being a work. It would be the biggest work that they've pulled in a while, but there's no, because then what do you do with Cody if it is a work? That's the problem. What do you do with Rhodes if Punk is a work? But then do you go Punk Drew because everybody's saying it happened during the Future Shock DDT from Drew?
Mm-hmm.
So do you play off of that? I mean, look, guys. I can sit here and probably take every possible scenario that we can talk about and make it make sense in some way, shape, or form. This is what I love about the WWE right now. All of these stories that we're seeing, all of these possible WrestleMania matches, they're not as predictable as they are in years past. We're not sitting here and going, okay, we're not even a week removed from the Royal Rumble, and I've got 5 matches for WrestleMania already figured out.
Mm-hmm.
We're a week removed from the Royal Rumble, and I've got maybe 2, maybe 3. So it's interesting. It's very interesting. Eric says, is this the same tricep he injured in AEW 2 years ago? I didn't even think about that, so I don't know. I don't remember if it was ever said. The man, sorry, I'm not even bringing that up. You're the first person since it's all come out that has mentioned it on the air. I'm not even putting the comment up. I'm not even. We're not going to address any of that. And I've done a really good job over the 7 years I've been with A2D Radio. Of anytime things like this come up, we don't talk about it. I think there's too many different ways that it can go. the conversation could go, that is. And I'm not about to have a shouting match with anybody. And I am not going to, I've not read everything. I do not know all of the facts. No, you're fine. You're fine. You are totally fine. But I figure I might as well bring it up now. We've done a great job so far of avoiding it, but well, we can't avoid it anymore.
The only thing I gotta say is Punk changed the landscape of everything.
Right, absolutely.
Not the other thing.
But I've not read everything yet. I have not I don't have enough facts, enough data to have that conversation. And I'd like to focus on the more positive side of the world of professional wrestling than the negative. Now, later down the road, if I have no choice but to talk about it, then we will, and that'll be a different conversation for a different day. Spellman's in the chat. Spellman goes, I'm in a dilemma. Do I sell my row 10 aisle seat 1 and 2 ringside Saturday to buy Sunday night? Being what just happened, end of SmackDown, got offered $4,500 a ticket for Saturday. What? These are the ones you won, aren't they? Remember, Spellman said he won tickets to Mania.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, if these are the ones you won and you can legit get $4,500 a ticket, there's a small part of me that says do it because you'll pocket money. And you could buy both. You could buy both nights.
Yeah.
Still sit somewhere decent and still have money left over. You profit from it. So I mean, I'm gonna say yeah.
I mean, look at this. Even Cody doesn't want this to happen. His face just says it all.
I think Cody is so. I think Cody's in a weird spot right now.
He is. The Punk injury kind of, in my opinion, screwed him. It just completely royally screwed him. You know,
but I don't think it screwed just him. I think it screwed everybody. And I don't even. It's not even something where you can sit here and say this is Punk's fault.
No, it's not Punk's fault. It's
that WrestleMania.
It was it's a freak thing to happen with the Future Shock DDT to do what it did to his tricep.
Yeah. But when you're, for lack of a better phrase, not what you used to be, some things you can't do. You've been wrestling Dominic Mysterio, who is not by any stretch of the imagination Drew McIntyre.
And I get that.
Right? So as soon as you, like Dom hitting you versus Drew hitting you, very different. Eric says, nothing is confirmed yet, though, guys. Cody could still somehow be added to the match. What if he loses the Seth night one as an added night two?
Not happening. It's going to be Rock Roman singles match only. We're not getting a triple threat.
I can't tell you the different ways that that sucks. Cody being added to that match. And this is, Eric, this isn't a shot at you. This isn't a shot at anybody in the chat. That because I've seen this a couple of times.
Mm-hmm.
If anybody realistically thinks that Roman and Rock will turn into Roman, Rock, Cody, you clearly have no grasp on what's happening.
Yeah.
None. Absolutely none. And again, that's not a shot at anybody, nothing like that, right? This match, I said it Saturday night. We were talking after the Roman, the Fatal 4-Way match. Roman Rock is its own entity. It stands on its own. God, just go back and watch the promo. It's at like the 3-hour mark. It might be my greatest thing I've ever said on this airwave. No, and I get it. You're not saying it's having, it's a suggestion. Again, respectfully, it is not as, it shouldn't even be suggested. It should never come out of somebody's mouth. No.
Never.
Only because of what this match means.
Yerp.
The ramifications and the implications that this match will have throughout the wrestling world.
Yeah.
So, all right, let's go. Let's go to commercial. We'll be right back after this word from our sponsors, guys. We're gonna try to transition off of the Rock Roman per se, but a lot of this show is built around Cody Rhodes making his decision, CM Punk making his, CM Punk's injury, different things like that. So we'll be right back, and we will talk on the other side.
Royal Billiard and Recreation, proudly celebrating 40 years and our new, bigger showroom.
Twice the size and twice the fun.
More pool tables by Olhausen. More dartboard sets, including custom reclaimed backboards. More bar and kitchen stools that can change a room.
And more bars, including pre-built and custom.
Hot tubs, skee ball, shuffleboard, outdoor,
and fun.
Royal Billiard and Recreation, your ultimate game room store. Now located on Bethlehem Pike in Colmar.
All right, we are back. We want to thank our sponsor, Royal Billiards, for sponsoring this next portion. If I can find the overlay. Get all your game room or man cave needs at royalbilliards.com. Oh, we've got a special treat. It is the OGP. No, it's not. He backed out of the... Okay, never mind.
Pansy!
He was here and he was gone. And I now sound like a dope. We'll see if he comes back. We'll get him back in here. We'll talk a little bit with Pete Evans when he comes back. And
Get your backside back here.
215, I'm not going to try to pronounce the first part of that. Was it me or did Cody not look happy about this whole Rock thing? We were just talking about that before we went to commercial break.
Oh, he did not look 100%
I think
happy.
it's like...
Because it sucks because he's getting screwed over hard. One thing everybody, and even I was excited to see, and whee! There it goes.
Yeah, but and again, though, like we talked about,
I know.
right? Take out the Punk injury, and we're not having this conversation, I don't think.
But you could go so many other different ways.
With what?
But Seth.
I don't disagree with you. But with Roman still having the title, Cody winning the Rumble, we knew Rock Roman was going to happen at WrestleMania. Regardless of what happened at the end of the Royal Rumble last week, everybody was still calling for Rock Roman. Right? Right. Thank you.
No, they were calling for Cody Roman after the Rumble last week.
We were still calling Rock Roman. We were still saying somehow, some way it's going to happen. And guess what? It's happening. You know how this makes better sense? Is if
Please
Roman
tell me
dropped
how.
the title. If Roman would have dropped the title, we're going to bring Pete in here in just a second. But if Roman would have dropped the title on Saturday, then this all makes sense. Is he in a pink room?
Somewhat. Different location.
Those are cute curtains behind you.
Oh, I never mind.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the OGP, Mr. Pete Evans.
Hey, I'm just gonna say this is probably the most pink you get in your life right now. So this it.
Yo!
I'm just saying.
No!
Just
Hold
saying.
on, I think I need to go find some burn cream.
You shouldn't have said
half
that.
An hour late to this show, and decides that he's gonna throw fire out the gate. All right. All right. At least I can hold my liquor.
Hey man, listen. These were like, I asked for Tito's and diet, and I had a splash of diet, and the rest was Tito's.
Fam. On any Thursday night, I have 12 to 14 Deep Eddy Lemon and sweet teas. I hear you. I'm better than you, and you know it. So
you're younger than me, and you know it. Wait till you get 41.
Well, let's get you to weigh in on the poll. Let's get you to weigh in on The Rock coming back. Cody Rhodes will pick Seth Rollins as his WrestleMania opponent. How does this thing with The Rock change that question? How does the Punk injury change everything? We've been going for half an hour. The floor is yours, sir.
I mean, with The Rock coming back, obviously it's electric, right? Hence the tagline, the most electrifying man in sports and entertainment. What else would bring him to Birmingham, Alabama? Not taking anything away from Alabama. I'm just saying, right? So if
Bama
that was,
hater.
if that was going to get him there, that was going to get him there. But I don't know. Maybe it's just me more than so the others. I kind of feel for Cody, and out of this whole ordeal, because I think that's the direction they were going to go. But you can't pass this up. And the biggest thing is that we've been talking about is now it's going to be for a title, and it didn't need to be. You know what I mean?
Nowhere close. But hold on. I don't think that it's for the title.
If it's not, then who? Okay. So you're saying that we get Rock versus Roman, title's not even on the line?
Yep.
But Roman's still the champion.
Yeah, title. So hold on. Let's back up for a second. A title is on the line. I do not think it is a universal, undisputed, intergalactic, Deep Space Nine championship.
You gotta have so many titles. Oh, no pun intended there. So
I think it's the title of the tribal chief. I think because they're in this story, in this era, this Roman Reigns era, the tribal chief, the head of the table, has meant more than the title ever has.
So you're telling me you're going to go to WrestleMania and not have your top title on the line?
Yep.
And that's happened when? Never.
No. It happened WrestleMania 1.
Also, yes. But hold on. When has there ever been a story where the title has played a supporting role like it does with this tribal chief character? When have we ever had a championship that has taken a back seat to a gimmick? I'll wait.
I mean,
it never has.
That's true.
Uncharted waters.
That's true. But the only thing I would say is, until Rock comes out and he says, I don't even want the title, I'm coming for the head of the table, that's when you believe it. And the other thing is, too, tonight when we saw it, when you had that cutaway, when Rock finally, they lock eyes, when he looks at Roman, Heyman is there, he's holding the title, he gives the title to Roman. When they get face to face, he has that title front and center. Now, either way, this is I don't know if this is gonna piss people off or not. Whatever the outcome is, Roman has to win on WrestleMania. That's you're not doing this to make The Rock. If you were doing this not for a title, if you were doing this just as a straight match, you could do it for the tribal chief. He's already lost the title. Then I can see Rock going over, right? I can see you putting The Rock over. But in this situation, you can't have in your scenario, you're not going to have this dude take a 3 count twice. His next 3 count, he's not going to tap. His next 3 count needs to be for the whole kit and caboodle.
So here's how I think it. Let's assume for a second that it is for the title. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I still think Rock beats him.
You can do that. You can do that.
Because,
There's a world you could do that. I wouldn't be terribly mad at that.
I'll even go a step further. If it's not for the title, I think The Rock beats him, and let me explain why. And this is why I hope it's not for the title, because I think the story is better this way. If it's not for the title, Rock beats Roman. Rock is in all intents and purposes, Rock reclaims his spot at the head of the table as the tribal chief, as the elder of the Samoans in the world of professional wrestling. The great one, the greatest of all time. Roman now is on a downward spiral. What's the next thing that happens? The next thing that happens is he drops the belt. He goes away for a little bit. He goes into hiding. He comes back and he thinks that he's back and he's a badass, right? He's still the champion, right? I may not be the tribal chief, blah, 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 but I'm still the champion and I've beaten everybody to hold this title. Insert Cody. Cody beats him for the title.
Hold on. Wait a minute. What? So where is happening? When is it? So you're saying Cody versus Seth at Mania and Cody loses?
Yep. Because hold on,
but you know Seth is already hurt.
Hold on. Look though. Look. They really gonna let Cody beat Rollins for a fourth time? No.
Yes. Blame Phillip Brooks' body because he can't stay healthy. You could blame other things that we haven't talked about. We refuse to talk about on the show for this happening. But yes, you can't. Seth already has a torn meniscus. He already has a broken back.
Okay, fine. Seth wins. Priest cashes in immediately.
That would be the most Dusty Rhodes-esque shit that ever happened to Cody Rhodes.
Bingo.
41 minutes. There's the damn clip. Or the quote, or whatever you want to call it. Right?
That would be the most, let me just say it because it's clean. I repeat, if Cody gets to Mania, challenges Seth, loses, Priest cashes in at Mania, that would be the most Dusty Rhodes parallel to Cody Rhodes ever. If you talk about the lineage of a father and a son just not looking alike but being booked alike, by all means, that is it.
But then that allows for Cody to go on to Backlash, Money in the Bank, whatever.
To finish the story.
Because as Dusty is my witness, this story will end by SummerSlam.
And the story has never been about the World Heavyweight title, Damian. It's been about
Cody.
The WWE title. The WWE title.
Cody. Well, hold on. We all thought that until what Cody said tonight. Cody said tonight he looked at that title and he said when Seth said that's not the type title, that's a Hollywood title. He specifically said that was the same title Bruno held. That was the same title that was put in my father's hands and then taken away at New York and Madison Square Garden. He said that. So
and that's the title he's wanting because that's the title his daddy never got.
But I hear you. But then also at the same time, you just said something about the World Heavyweight title as well. Here's my thing. If they do this, we all can see Cody being positioned as the face of the company. He's a dude that he wears suits all the time. He's on every other media outlet. You have this. I said this last year, right? And this, I would even go furthermore this year. If Cody loses at Mania, then why have the Rumble then? You can get me with that one time, 1 year. I get it. I understand. You can get me one, but you had this dude win 2 years in a row and have him lose 2 years in a row. I ain't with that. Like out of everything, outside of everything else, I can't. That can't fly because no backlash, no Money in the Bank, no Saudi show, no summer. That's not going to mean as much.
But so here's an interesting stat that I didn't know till the other night. You look at the four guys, including Cody, the four guys that have won back-to-back Royal Rumbles. Hogan, Michaels, and Austin all lost their first WrestleMania. Like that first year, win the Rumble, go on WrestleMania, lose. Second year, win the Rumble, go on to WrestleMania, win.
Mm-hmm.
Do you follow the statistic? Or do you figure out a way, and again, Dusty Rhodes fashion, to make history and have Cody be the first one to win the Rumble twice, lose at WrestleMania twice?
No, I'm not. No. F that. No, you can kiss my ass with that 7 days a week, twice on Sunday. Here's what you do. That if you want to do that, if you want to swerve me, you want to swerve everyone at Mania, do what you said to do. But listen, Seth is going away. He's not going to be hurt by losing to Cody for the 4th time. But if you feel that way, if you got to throw some spice on it, you got to sprinkle something on it, have Priest cash in on Cody then. Then you have Cody chase. If you want to do it, it means just as much because in that same instance, Cody has his moment. Priest is then made a star. Boom, bang, boom, you go off. All these comments
in that scenario, though, then I almost want, and again, because of what WrestleMania is and what, however, we want everybody to have that WrestleMania moment. We want everybody to have that their time in the spotlight, to enjoy it, to cherish it, right? There's a small part of me that says Cody and Seth this night. 1, for some reason, Cody comes out on night 2. Priest cashes in on Cody night 2.
Nah, here's the thing. I get it. We all want drama. This is, and Chrome always says it, the 5s and the 0s at Mania, those are the biggest.
Oh, 100%.
You do here. Yeah, I saw somebody said that the Punk interference is called. Like, I'm not at this point. Mania is not to advance storylines.
No, but see, it's never been about advancing storylines. I have been saying this about WrestleMania as long as I can walk, right? WrestleMania is the place where storylines end and new storylines begin. Well, all right, I didn't expect this.
Yeah, thank you, Dead Slayer. Thank you, Dead Slayer.
Yeah, appreciate that.
Yeah, thank you.
Super chat over there. I think Seth loses regardless of who he faces because he has to heel and get written off TV. The only way I see Seth winning is because Priest will cash in immediately. And I'm with Dead Slayer. I absolutely am. But I also think both Roman and Seth go away after Mania.
And then he says cash in immediately after. I think that what's happens, but I think that's what's going to happen is Cody going to pull a 08 Cena, which I need to be reminded.
That part.
Yeah, I need to be reminded of what that is.
Oh, isn't that when no, 08's not. So hold on. I don't know if he means Cody or do you mean Cody or do you mean like
he said I think that's what's gonna happen. I think he thinks what's gonna happen is Cody's gonna pull an 08 Cena.
Right, but hold on. If I remember correctly, 08 Cena was he has the injury, comes back after like he was supposed to be on in 9 months or something.
Yeah, he was 30. He was 30.
Yeah, he was number 30 in the Rumble, 3 months in, and wins the Rumble. 08 would be WrestleMania 24. Oh, yeah, there it is. He used the Royal Rumble win for the Chamber. That's not I don't think I hate that.
So you say he's going to go in the Mania as the champion?
We were talking about that earlier, but
that
would require Roman to go to Elimination Chamber.
But hold up. Here's the thing. I know Cody's already committed, but as we can see in the last 2 weeks, shit has changed. So now they're already calling audibles as we can see that. That's evidence of tonight. All right, listen, Roman, you talk about these dates, you work 10 times less than Seth. And Cody did say that's a very, very good point. Cody did say, he said, I'm not coming after that at Mania.
Now, but he did say, and everybody called me out on it. He said he was moving the goalpost, right? But he said he was. Hold on, everybody called me out.
He didn't say which direction either. He didn't say he was moving them back or moving them up. He just said the goalposts were being moved. If that is in fact the case, I would love it. And he still gets his moment, and it's in Australia. It's going to be. They're going to treat it like a huge PLE.
Yeah, and John Cody said he was pushing up his goalpost. So if the way I read that, he said forward. The way I think of that, timeline got moved up.
Yes. And like I said,
I'm coming for you at the Elimination Chamber.
Right. I mean, that's cool. And I mean, here's what can happen, right? If they go that route, at that point, it's because there's so many different ways they can go. Madam Web type stuff, right? Spider-Web, Spider-Man, all that. There's so many different alternate universes that they can go with this. But then at that point, who does Cody go on the Mania against? Does it matter at that point?
So if we do that, I think we see Drew, Seth, and then I think you see
Cody Orton, Cody LA Knight.
Cody Orton would be good. We've talked about that a few times. I think
Like
LA Knight still faces Logan Paul.
Yeah, I mean, I probably would stop it at Orton because at that point you could be like, Orton's like, hey, this is the protege now with the title and the teachers here. Let's see if you really got it. Let's see if you got it. Let's see if you can keep it. I mean, honestly, it sucks that they're in this position, but it's also good that they're in the position because the talent pool is just so deep.
Now you make stars.
Yes, you make stars.
Well,
and that's
you're saying the talent pool is so deep, and I mentioned it earlier. There is no scenario that you can put in front of me where I can say, "Yeah, I can. We can take that and run with it. We could do something with that. I could see that happening because the talent pool is so deep. Because this is when you make stars, right?
Mm-hmm.
You lost 2 heavy hitters back to back." Essentially, but you still got 15 waiting.
Hungry too.
What you say we don't do Cody Jay?
No, because Mania they've been setting it up for the Usos to go at it with each other.
No, I get that, but again, we've seen everything just kind of turn on a dime.
No, I get that, and again, another factor we're not talking about is. And y'all probably said it and I just missed it. But you could have at Mania Seth versus Gunther title for title with Gunther. Monday's going to be 600 days.
I'm sorry. I have to stop you. I have to absolutely stop you. There is nothing I hate more than this idea that Gunther as the Intercontinental Champion is going to go to WrestleMania and fight Seth Rollins as the World Heavyweight Champion. I get it. They did it with Hogan and Warrior back in the day. I understand all of that. But there's nothing more frustrating to me than you're going to take something as prestigious as the Intercontinental title and as historic as Gunther's reign. You're going to take another title that has been on one person since its inception last May. And we're going to put them both on a guy that's unstoppable.
Yep.
No.
You solidify him even more.
No.
He doesn't need to be made as... This isn't Brock 2002 SummerSlam. This isn't that. Even though...
I'm not talking about a unification. He can hold both titles and drop one at a time.
But that's just like what Warrior did. That's what Warrior did in 90. This isn't that. Like... If anything, I'd rather see Gunther beat Cody and him be the one.
To Gunther, no disrespect whatsoever. I don't know if he's ready to hold both titles. I don't know if you can convince me that he can hold both titles and defend them as sporadically as he's defending the Intercontinental Championship. Because what works right now with the Intercontinental title is he's got Imperium kind of setting the stage for him, right? He's still a presence, but when he needs to, he gets involved. He's like a crime lord. He's like the Joker or the Riddler or insert main villain of any superhero movie, right? It works. It works perfectly with the IC title. I think you add another title to that fray, I don't think it works because I'm sorry, but you can't convince me that Imperium can go toe the tag team of Imperium, right? Kaiser and what's the other guy's name?
Vinci.
Kaiser and Vinci can go toe to toe and have the matches that they're having with some of this main event talent that you have right now.
Mm-hmm.
Because the main event talent, and again, that's not a shot at those two, right? Because I think they're good wrestlers. You just haven't built those two enough to do this. Plus, you have the storyline within Imperium, and this is what's so great. We have these factions, but there are storylines within the storylines. You have Kaiser, who has been Gunther's right-hand man since the days of NXT. But now he's on the outs. Now he is the disappointment. So you tell a different story with that. Throwing another variable in there, things start to get diluted, and we don't get to see the things play out in their natural order. I think it means more if Kaiser fails Gunther, which cost Gunther his Intercontinental title. I think that holds so much more weight than if Gunther goes and wins the World Heavyweight Championship from Seth, holds both titles, and now has to defend it from a mid-card side and a main event side. So you think Imperium's going to implode? There's a part of me that says it's going to implode. There's another part of me that says we're going to see a changing of the guard with it. I think Vinci still stays around. I think this is their way to branch Kaiser off and see what he can do on his own. Because a lot of the stuff that he's doing right now, while yes, he's under that Imperium umbrella, he's doing it without Gunther in the ring. He did it without Vinci in the ring for a while. And he managed to get himself over as a villain.
Yes.
So what can he do without that shadow of Gunther?
I don't know. I mean, Gunther, he needs to lose the Intercontinental title, in my opinion. He doesn't need it anymore. He's done what he needed to do. Like, it's honestly, in my opinion, the Intercontinental title is beneath him now.
Agreed.
You know what I mean? And
when they had the match with Gable, his last match with Gable, I definitely think that was the right time. Maybe not the right event per se, like a random Monday night. But I think that program with Gable and the steam that Gable had picked up, I think that was a perfect time to do it.
I don't know. I mean, I had said someone and I was laughed at, but I mean, not laughed at, but I still think if you're not doing Jimmy versus Jay at Mania, this Jay to me is undoubtedly the one to take the title off of Gunther. If what we saw Monday, just past Monday, with the beatdown on the New Day after the match, the only other person I could think of is a returning Big E, but I saw the video with Danae Salcedo, shout out to her, does stuff for Busted Open and stuff like that. She interviewed E, and he went through his laundry list of injuries. Like, this is the body that I'm gonna have into my 40s, my 50s, hopefully my 60s. Both torn ACLs, torn pec, broken patella, and now the neck. Like, I don't want to beat this up, but that also could be planting to see, like, hey, I've been through all this. As soon as I get that green light, I'm coming back.
Right, and definitely when you see the New Day getting beat down like this, like they have, I think it only stands to say that we're gonna get a Big E return sooner rather than later, right? Because when you think of the New Day and you think of Imperium, Woods and Kingston are to Kaiser and Vinci as Big E is to Gunther, right? Those two are the powerhouses of their group. So you need to bring in another powerhouse. And Big E was an Intercontinental Champion. Big E, that defined Big E's career until he won the the WWE title, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So what better way? And especially if this may be it for him, come back, dethrone Gunther at WrestleMania. You get one more last WrestleMania moment with the boys, right? You guys go on a few month run, you drop it, okay, and you ride off into the sunset.
Like to your Gable point, like also like Gable, I think is ideal. The same thing you just said now with Tozawa in Alpha Academy. Yeah, Tozawa, your Otis can cancel out Vinci and Kaiser, and that to me, like even with me saying with Big E, and I'm gonna kind of contradict myself. Big E's already been already been a world champion. He's been an Intercontinental champion. It's returning. That's cool. That's a story. But you have an opportunity to make Gable a star.
A bigger star than he already is.
Yes.
You have the opportunity to cement Gable as a singles competitor because unfortunately you had American Alpha, you had the Alpha Academy, all this other stuff. You did the whole Shorty G thing for a while, which nobody really talks about anymore for good reason. You never cemented him as a singles competitor. You put him in that spot where he takes the title off of Gunther and ends a historic career. I mean, a historic reign.
Yeah,
instant stardom.
That's the thing. Like anybody that, how can I say this? Cody's a little bit different with Roman because Cody's never had it, right? So you're solidifying him having it. But when it comes to Gunther and the 600-day Intercontinental Championship reign, whoever takes that title off of him needs to. That's a star who's taking the next step. That's the star who's taking that next rung on the ladder because that's the longest reigning Intercontinental Champion of all time, and you're going to hear that as that champion has that run. And I think Gable is perfect for that. It's just how do they get back there to that? Because they've already done that. I think he challenged for the title twice. Is that correct?
So. I think so. I think it's twice. If not, definitely twice, maybe 3.
I mean, you could just do. Honestly, you really just could do a 20-man battle royal on a Raw one night, and just build it that way. Because
for this, Robert.
did he commit to Raw tonight?
No, he kept the SmackDown contract and said he'd see Adam at Monday Night Raw to check that out.
The rumor is him and Jade are gonna hear what both have to say.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna weigh both offers and go.
Because we had Naomi and Tiffany sign with SmackDown.
Right.
Adam's losing out on all this talent like nobody's business. Nick signing it all,
which is fine because I think we're gonna see something Nick Adam Pierce. I'm still. In my heart of hearts, I still think we get Nick and Adam Pierce going at it at some point.
Oh, you can have them go at it at Mania.
Just for funsies. Here's why I hate the Braun Breaker bit.
Mm-hmm.
They've not done anything with Braun. Like he came in so strong. He ended the black and gold era. He was a villain without trying to be a villain. But then he ushered in NXT 2.0 and he was a baby face. And we all loved him for it. And this, that, and the other thing. And blah, 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 blah. And then he lost the title and tried to be a bad guy. And no one cared.
Which is why you have him come in and destroy Imperium, the Judgment Day, and have him be a face to destroy all those.
To me, like...
That's too much of a dynamic shift, though, for no reason.
Well... It is.
He looks strong, and he can continue.
I don't disagree, but he never looked weak.
NXT 2.0 when that got introduced and he beat Ciampa for the title, I believe. You can have that energetic that his ring style, the way he attacks, everything's just so fast and quick. It works as a heel, but like if you're not going to do that with him versus Gunther, obviously. You do it where you got to get him back. His Titantron has to be bright colors. Like his singlet, bright colors. I like instead of the dog being an all black dog barking, an all white dog barking. something like it needs to be lively because now I'm not saying he has to be a whole rah-rah guy, but when his uncle Scott Steiner used to do the Freakin started, he should have had that pose at the end. Like put him in a varsity jacket, put him in a Letterman's jacket where it's bright colors. Something because that is where I still think his ring style and how he works in the ring and his energy that he has when he executes his moves are still going to be through. And it's just, but I don't know. It's the whole
take that energy. Let's talk about that energy though. I do think his ring work is great. He's got the right that he hits with the right power and he hits with the right energy to where a crowd can really feed behind that. He can have that Hogan style comeback, right? And it's really just lively and strong and believable, right? But if you're not doing, to Pete's point, if you don't have some of these brighter colors, if you don't have him defending the little guy, for lack of a better phrase, right? If you have him trying to be this mix of like, I'm a douchebag, but I'm also like Stone Cold Steve Austin, this doesn't work. You can't be a hard ass and try to make fun of people.
Right. No, it doesn't. But I will say this though too. There's correlation between NXT and the main roster in name only. And the reason I say that is because we've seen it with other people. They do stuff on NXT, they carry themselves a certain way, and by the time they get to the main roster, and they've done this all in the same week. Like we don't know what's about to happen tomorrow, Vengeance Day, right? Like, but Carmelo and Trick Williams
tomorrow, or is it Sunday?
I think it's Sunday.
Is it Sunday? So this weekend, I'll cover myself there. This weekend, where you have Carmelo and Trick versus Baron Corbin and Braun in the Dusty Rhodes Classic, right? And then you got Trick versus Dragunov in the main event for the NXT title.
Yeah.
So
Sunday.
yeah, so they're sitting here playing Carmelo up like he's a face, but what is he going to do? We all know he's going to stab his friend in the back on Sunday, right? Like that's where it's trending. We don't know that for sure, but also at the same time, we're sitting here talking about Braun. If he's going to come to the main roster, he's going to be in the picture with Gunther potentially. He needs to be a face, like he needs to be brighter colors. And I mean, you can even see that out of the ring, all his promos, all his interviews, he's wearing all black. Like, I don't know if you really need Raw to me doesn't need any more heels.
No,
in
it
my
doesn't.
opinion.
It absolutely doesn't. And I think that's the other, that's where I was kind of going earlier, where you can't just have somebody come up to the main roster and overnight become a baby face, become a good guy, when you've had them down in NXT being a bad guy for the last 2 years. That would have been like Tiffany Stratton tonight, which, by the way, congrats to Tiffany for getting the call up. Right? That would have been
I don't like her intro. They took away the picture. The camera shutters. I don't like that. I know they got to do it. They got to speed it up for live TV. I just don't like that. I think the camera shutter.
Get back in the car.
You know what I
Stop
mean?
drinking and get back in the car.
Anyway.
So.
But that would have been like Tiffany coming out tonight and siding with Selena. Right?
Just out of the blue. Just
randomly out of the blue. Or like helping Bailey against Damage Control. Doing something to protect somebody else. It wouldn't have worked.
The one thing I will say as well is Gunther being who he is in the reign that he's had. If you just do a battle royal, it really doesn't. The story itself is him being dethroned as a champion. So honestly, they could probably do Steelbreaker in his current role because it's just, hey, this dude is held up for 600 days. He's beating everybody face, heel, doesn't matter. Shit, he beat Miz so bad he turned from heel to face. Like you see what I'm saying? Like during that whole process. So at that point, it's just the allure of him defending the title at Mania with that 600+ day reign. By the time you get there, whoever it is, whatever their background, whatever they've done before, it's still going to be because the fans want to see him lose. You know what I mean? Like they're going to want to see him drop the title.
I do think the next step, once he drops the title, is going to that main title picture. Is putting himself in these bigger, high-profile matches. That is absolutely the next step, because you see it with everybody that's ever held the Intercontinental title. They always go from that to the big show.
I don't want to say always, but yes,
for the most part, right? They have a better pathway there.
Mm-hmm. I think he is the Money in the Bank winner this year.
I don't disagree with that. I think that as well.
I think he's the Money in the Bank winner this year.
So, all right, we're going to go to our last commercial break of the night. We're going to come back. We're going to talk Bayley making her announcement, and then we'll kind of wrap up the show. So we will be right back after this word from our sponsors.
In our family, food is our daily bond. My nonna, affectionately called Mama by many, found solace and joy in the kitchen, sharing her love through delicious creations. She turned her culinary passion into a flourishing business alongside her husband and sons in 1983. Celebrating 40 years is a testament to our exceptional team, friends, family, and beloved customers. With gratitude, we look forward to the future, expanding our brand to share the highest quality Italian food and wine nationwide. Our heartfelt thanks to everyone who has played a part in our story. Grazie mille.
God, I do love that promo. Carlino's Italian food. What a place. Go find them online. Shop gourmet cheeses, meats, olive oils, and gift baskets. Elevate your dining with Carlino's Gourmet Italian Deli. Discover the taste of Italy today. All right, so by the way, I was during the commercial break, I was on Snapchat, looking at WWE Snapchat, and they were showing the stuff with The Rock. I think that screen grab that you had where Cody looks unhappy, I think he's actually fighting back tears because The Rock is saying something to him. Like the angle that the Snapchat is, you can see The Rock is whispering something to him. And I think he mentioned something about his dad.
No.
I think that The Rock said something to him because we know that Cody's an emotional guy.
Yeah.
Right? It wouldn't surprise me if The Rock said something to make Cody emotional.
I'd be emotional too if The Rock screwed me like he screwed Punk 11 years ago.
Get off.
Oh no, I mean, like Cody has a lot to he has a lot to be pissed about. Like last weekend, these things weren't shit. Just like things is changing on the fly. They're changing on the fly, and there's things outside of his control, extenuated circumstances between injuries and other things that. And listen, it sucks, but that's the nature of the business. As much as we want to see Cody finish the story, The Rock is a way bigger draw. Rock Roman is a way bigger draw at Mania on that stage, and there's really even Trips realizes that. But right now, Cody probably has a sour taste in his mouth. But come what Elimination Chamber is that this month?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come Elimination Chamber, could be a different taste in his mouth.
Yep.
Pause, but still.
Yeah. Let's talk about Bayley making her decision tonight, which I kind of feel bad for Bayley a little bit because this got telegraphed Monday night after Nia attacked Rhea the way she did.
Well, if you actually watch Damage Control, slowly move out the way and leave Bayley in the path of destruction in case.
No. Absolutely, right? But regardless if they do that or they don't do that, Nia attacking Rhea sets this stage for everything. That slight little movement, though, does play into the story. Right? I thought this might have been Bayley's best promo of her whole heel turn.
And then earlier tonight, you have Damage Control in the locker room saying after tonight we'll be done with Bayley. And they leave, get their titles. They leave the locker room, and who's in the closet standing there? Bayley.
Where was Dakota around tonight or no?
No.
Okay.
Which I think was intentional because with Dakota still not being medically cleared, I think it made more sense for her not to be around. She gets to come back and next week and be like, what happened? And then she turns on Bayley as well. Because I think Dakota ends up being while she's still not medically cleared, I think Dakota ends up being a major mouthpiece for the three of them.
I mean, listen,
At least for the time being.
Bailey itself deserves this.
100%.
Yes.
I love the fact that she talked about, I forget what I was watching. I've been watching a lot of WWE YouTube this week, where she was talking about, I'm not even on, after she won, she's like, I wasn't even on the promotional poster.
I think she was on the bump earlier.
Yeah, I'm not on the seats for the front row. And then after she won, she put out there that, hey, like, I won the women's rumble as well. Cody's on the promo. Bianca's on the promo. I'm the Royal Rumble winner for women, and I'm not on any of this promotion.
I saw that tweet.
I will say this just to get this out there, and this is no fault of hers, but I can't wait till they take the title off of Io Sky.
Well, no, and I agree, and I said this about Io's. I want to say this is Io's second run with the title.
No.
Oh no, it was her NXT title run I didn't like.
This is her first one.
Her NXT title run was atrocious, and it's
the win is always better, right? Like, the win was good,
because with Io, we have, other than the fact that she can wrestle and wrestle well, we have done zero
to show her personality
with character development.
Nope.
All we've shown her on the main roster is that she's a lackey to Bailey.
Or, I mean, she can wrestle her ass off. Like, it's just like, hey, this person has a title shot against Io, and she goes in there, she does her work, and she's very. We all know how good she is in the ring, but it's like you don't see her any like her regular clothes outside, regular promos. Like, what if they would have did for her what they did for Nakamura with his program with Seth? Let her cut promos in her native tongue. Let her build that up. If you have to pre-record that stuff, give that production, give that a segment. I think they dropped the ball. Like,
now I will say, go back and watch the segment tonight. Again, Bailey does fantastic.
Yeah,
calling them out in Japanese, everything like that. You watch the facial expressions of the Kabuki Warriors and Io, it tells a story in of itself. Furthermore, with that, when Bailey gets the pipe, granted it's a little bit clunky because how did Kyrie not see the pipe when Asuka was picking? I can nitpick, but I won't. After Bailey levels the Kabuki Warriors with the pipe and the stare down between Io and Bailey, Io with the title, Becky with the pipe. Not Becky, Bailey with the pipe. Sorry, Becky's in the chat.
Becky with the pipe sound like a girl from your neighborhood.
Anyway. Anyway.
Bailey with the pipe in the laboratory.
But
Becky's laboratory.
Io does such a great job with her facial expressions there.
Right.
She doesn't have to say a word. And her facial expression, her body language, everything does a wonderful job setting the stage and almost showing the conflict, because Bailey says it in her promo, right? Ever since these two got here, you've been different.
Yeah.
Right? So it's almost like Asuka and Kyrie are pulling the strings with Io. More so maybe Asuka than anybody. Right? Pulling the strings with Io. Io understanding what Bailey has meant to her career and that divide right there.
I get it. I mean, I could dig it. I just, it's just, I wish the main story going into that match isn't, because I mean, let's really cut to the chase, right? For anybody who's been around and watched Bailey's career, you can sit here and say damage control this, damage control that. The story is Bailey finally getting her first singles match at WrestleMania and wanting to see her win. So while WWE, I know in the present moment they're relying on this story of damage control, this, that, and the third, they just could have done so much better. I mean, she could have had a run to where it was almost out of Asuka's when she had the NXT title, because I just think Io is that strong, great in the ring. But it's like you just can't make matches and just, if you just want to make matches and have a champion just show up and win, I'll go watch on Wednesday night. That's not what I watch WWE for.
I like that. I like that comment too. But
Like,
I think the other benefit here is that we're not gonna see Mercedes Moné. We're not gonna see Jade siding or Naomi or Becky or Charlotte or any of Bayley's friends coming to her rescue. This is going to get back to true core Bayley, where she's the underdog. The odds are against her. The deck is stacked, and she has to overcome that a major obstacle to have another run. This is gonna feel like Brooklyn when she won the title off of Sasha.
I think it would feel like that anyway, regardless, either she had backup or not, but just because we've been waiting so long for it, and like kind of like Drew a little bit, but I mean, really during that COVID era, during the Thunderdome era, it was Bayley and Sasha that was carrying the whole brand. Like you were tuning in for them. And it's, I mean, listen, I love Mercedes Moné, Sasha, whatever you want to call her. I think it's a missed opportunity, but I'm not going to fault anybody for trying to get that money as much as they can, because your bodies is your bodies, and you can't, the wear and tear that you put on them. It's just you got to cash in when it's hot, right? So, but yeah, man, the stars would align so much if you had, bro. Just think about this. Like if you literally if Sasha came back, or Mercedes Moné, Mercedes and Naomi pick up where they left off versus Kabuki Warriors for the tag team titles, and then also Io versus Bayley, and then boom, they like you got it, like it's right there. But obviously, it's outside of their control.
Yeah,
you know
absolutely. I mean, at the end of the day, it's a shame, but it all comes down to money.
Yep.
Right, and it's making sure to some extent of it, one, you get your value, but also
show me the money.
I'm sorry, but if TK is going to pay me, $500,000 more a year than Hunter's going to pay me, I get
to work less.
Yeah, I'll go work for TK, because that means I'm not doing anything relevant.
Right, exactly. It's like you're the biggest fish in a small pond. I mean, don't get me wrong. AEW's women's division is getting better, especially when Hayter comes back. Whatever's going on with
very stacked right now too.
Yeah, I mean, soon as she comes in, I mean, come on now, like it's.
As soon as she comes in, Deanna's out, and she's just yesterday's flavor.
What I would be doing though is, if I've never seen, I don't know where these women are growing at, Jordan Grace, Bianca, Jade Cargill, Rhea Ripley. I mean, Nia she's country strong, but these other, and Ivy now can pound for pound can hold her own as well.
Did you see Jordan defend Ivy on Twitter? Somebody went after Ivy, saying that Jordan made Ivy look weak because of how Jordan went to the one hand in the suplex spot during the Rumble, and Jordan came to Ivy's defense. I was like, she had the person I was carrying versus the person that Ivy was carrying.
Right.
There's a 20-pound difference there.
Because I think didn't Ivy have up Indy?
I think so.
I know Jordan had Candice LeRae, but also Jordan is also probably 2-3 inches taller and probably 10 to 15 pounds heavier.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So it's just different. But to see the women's Rumble, I wasn't saying the women's Rumble was better than the men's Rumble, just in my opinion.
By far.
Yeah, it's just so much, the surprises, the potential that's there, built the new stars that they use versus what that were that actually had good showings. Let's say showings, but obviously, but that the future is bright. I mean, kind of the future is bright on the men's side as well. I mean, hell, we sitting here talking about Chad Gable, right? Chad Gable had a spot and they didn't even use him.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So they didn't even use him. So it's just one of those things. But I mean, I can't wait. I'm interested to see what they do with Elimination Chamber with the women, with the Raw Worlds. What do they call it? The Women's Heavyweight Championship.
Yeah.
The Women's Heavyweight Championship. I mean, we kind of all thinking it's going to be Becky, but that's somebody who's run, like you talked about, right, where they've lost everything. Becky lost to Nia. She keeps losing Nia on Monday night, not physically in the sense of a match, but just shit just don't go her way. Rumble didn't go her way. So, like, when is the payoff coming? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So,
but I think these next few weeks are going to be really, really exciting. We're gonna wrap things up here. I think the next few weeks are going to be great. I think we've got an awesome road to Elimination Chamber to get ready for. I think we've got a fantastic road to WrestleMania that we're going to get ready for. And there's a lot coming as well. When you think of Revolution, when you think of Vengeance Day,
you got Vengeance Day Sunday.
Elimination Chamber, Stand and
Revolution.
Deliver.
Mm-hmm.
All of this before WrestleMania. We've got a lot to talk about over the next few weeks. So definitely something that we need to keep our eyes on. But we want to thank all our sponsors, guys. We want to thank Allen's Travel, Carlino's, Royal Billiards, Hats.com, everybody. We will be back next week, same bat time, same bat channel to preview. No, we still got a few weeks before the Chamber.
Chamber's 24th.
Yeah. We so actually let's do this. Let's do this calendar. So next week we've got we'll probably just be doing a lot of Fallout. We'll probably talk about NXT Vengeance Day. Revolution is on the horizon, so we're also going to get ready to talk about that as well. The 16th, I will not be on the air. I will be in Colorado for a wedding. Okay.
Boo.
Yeah, shut up. The 23rd, if we do a show the 23rd, will be Elimination Chamber preview. Actually, no, it'll have to. We have to. Or we go live the 24th with an Elimination Chamber recap. I'm not doing a live reaction because nobody's getting up at 4 a.m. to watch us.
Come on. If they're up at 4 a.m. to watch the Chamber, they can be up at 4 a.m. to watch us.
And then we are in WrestleMania mode right after that. So get ready. I think we're going to have a great month of March with WrestleMania programming. For Pete Evans, for Butters, I'm Ritz. We will catch you guys next week. You'll catch Pete Evans Tuesday on Birds of a Feather. Until then, peace, love, and joy. Tell somebody you love them. We out of here.